The reclaimed substation hums, a low thrumming in the bones of the building, smelling of ozone and old dust. A single neon tube, the color of a bruised twilight, flickers over the console where hand-labeled vinyl stacks like forgotten archives. Outside, a chill wind off the river carries the scent of damp concrete and something metallic.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Toronto checks in at 52 degrees and sunny. Winds are moving from the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour.
Sweden's parliament just greenlit a package of stricter immigration laws, a direct re-architecture of its long-standing open-door policy. The new return order mandates immediate deportation for individuals denied asylum, impacting thousands. The government estimates up to 80,000 people could be affected by stricter policies over the next 5 years, exposing asylum seekers and families to expedited removal. Instead of this, an alternative path would be prioritizing investment in accelerated language programs and targeted job training for asylum seekers to foster faster integration rather than immediate expulsion. The chosen next move by the ruling coalition is the full implementation of these laws by early next year, dramatically reducing appeal avenues for those facing removal.
New tape on deck. Anti-Burnham fake news on Makerfield Facebook accounts has.
This decision reweaves the national social fabric, pushing families seeking refuge into deeper precarity or forcing returns to unstable regions. The burden of care and dignity now falls disproportionately on NGOs and local communities, who must grapple with the human costs where state policy removes its support, carrying it forward. This marks a profound national narrative shift from refugee haven to border fortress, with the most vulnerable carrying the weight of this.
Patching in a caller, the contrarian. You're on the signal. Chat.
This is Elias from Malmo. You talk about human cost, but what's the economic cost or benefit? Are these stricter laws actually saving the Swedish taxpayer money, or are they just shifting significant costs to different parts of society, like social services and charity organizations trying to support the newly vulnerable?
Elias, a sharp question on the true ledger. The internal compass of discernment calls for us to separate toxic residue from architectural signal, looking beyond surface-level accounting. Kaylin, how do we prototype a better system here? Coffee's cold, doesn't matter. The signal is warm and the board is reading clean.
The friction Elias highlights is precisely where we can script a rule bend. The cost of complex legal challenges, increased social support for non-integrated populations, and potential human rights violations can actually outweigh initial savings. A playable next step would be piloting localized, dignity-focused integration programs in select municipalities, measuring their long-term economic contributions against the current punitive system. It's about building an architecture of mutual benefit, not just restriction, that favors provenance and dignity.
Same dossier, new angle. Keep the thread tight.
A recent report from the Center for Countering Digital Hate detailed over 200 instances of deliberately misleading posts spreading across 15 local Facebook groups in Makerfield, impacting voter perception of Andy Burnham's mayoral campaign just weeks before the election. These posts, often mimicking local news outlets, expose voters to manipulated information and undermine the democratic process. Instead of solely relying on platform self-regulation, which has proven insufficient, a viable alternative is a publicly funded, independent, rapid response fact-checking unit specifically for local elections, with legal teeth to demand swift platform action. The immediate chosen next move for Burnham's team is to launch a targeted digital literacy campaign directly addressing these false narratives, leveraging trusted community voices and local media partnerships.
This isn't just political mudslinging, it's a digital poisoning of the well for local democracy. When community Facebook groups, once places for shared recipes and local events, become conduits for coordinated disinformation, the entire civic conversation degrades and trust erodes structurally. The burden falls heavily on local citizens to discern truth from sophisticated falsehoods, and on platforms like Meta to re-architect their algorithms to prioritize provenance and factual integrity over virality and engagement, carrying this responsibility next.
We've got someone. Patching in a caller. Go ahead.
This is Sarah from Wigan. Who really pays for this fake news? Is it just Burnham's campaign and a few misled voters? Or are we, the everyday citizens in places like Makerfield, paying with a degraded democracy and a systemic loss of faith in our local information sources and the electoral process itself?
Sarah, your question cuts to the core of civic architecture. When the information bedrock is compromised, the entire structure becomes unstable. We need clear analysis to turn this confusion into actionable vectors, and sometimes a little humor to cut through the noise. But let's look at a bright spot, where clear analysis and bold action are yielding tangible dividends for households across Spain.
Shifting to a positive economic impact, the Spanish National Energy Regulator, CNMC, published data showing that the average Spanish household saved approximately €10 per month last year, totaling over €120 annually. This is directly attributable to the increased share of solar and wind power in the grid. This benefit primarily exposes middle and lower income families to direct financial relief, making energy more accessible and reinforcing their autonomy. An alternative for the energy sector could be focusing less on direct consumer savings and more on industrial subsidies to drive down production costs further, potentially accelerating the green transition even faster for large-scale operations. The chosen next move by the Spanish government is to accelerate investment in new grid infrastructure to support a projected 74% renewable electricity share by 2030, building on this proven household benefit.
This isn't just about utility bills. It's a powerful cultural reimagining of energy as a common good, directly woven into the daily rhythm of family budgets. This tangible benefit carries forward to future generations, demonstrating a clear, structural return on ecological investment. It effectively shifts the national narrative from green sacrifice to green gain, establishing a new cultural precedent for how energy policy can directly uplift citizens' dignity and financial well-being, carrying this vision next.
Callers on. Go ahead.
This is Javier from Barcelona. €10 a month sounds great. But who is not benefiting? Are there hidden costs for traditional energy workers in coal regions or for smaller businesses still reliant on older grids? Is this benefit truly evenly distributed across all income brackets in Spain? Or are some parts of our civic architecture left behind in this renewable revolution?
Javier, your question is vital for building architectures that truly favor consent, provenance, and dignity for all. We must integrate both the logic of savings and the emotional impact on every segment of society to achieve true resilience. We build from the ground up, inside out. Stay with us.
Prototype the fix.
Black Star Pirate Radio.
Continue the signal at TogeeVision.com. Tune in, Sparks and Stories, Gig Passport.